Breaking news today, Israel-Hamas War News Live Update. Israel warns an elite Iran-backed unit is in Lebanon to fight. An Israeli military official has informed Newsweek that a highly trained unit supported by Iran has recently arrived in Lebanon. Their purpose is to engage in attacks against Israel, as the conflict in the Gaza Strip continues to intensify on various fronts. The IDF spokesperson announced that the Imam Hossein Division has arrived in southern Lebanon to support Hezbollah, as previously reported by Newsweek in July. In recent weeks, it has engaged in confrontations with the IDF on the Lebanese border and is actively participating in offensive activity into Israeli territory, stated the IDF spokesperson to Newsweek. Hezbollah and the Imam Hossein militia are leading Lebanon towards the consequences of supporting Hamas-ISIS, the spokesperson emphasized. The IDF is always ready to swiftly and decisively address any threats to security in the northern region. Intelligence shared with Newsweek in July revealed that the Imam Hossein Division is considered the top-tier fighting force in Syria, created by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, RGC Quds Force. Established in 2016, it provided support to Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's government during the country's civil war, countering rebels and jihadis, including the Islamic State militant group, ISIS. Following the defeat of ISIS, the group orchestrated a series of missile attacks on Israel from Syrian territory and launched rocket attacks on U.S. troops in Syria, as reported by intelligence sources. The group was reported to possess state-of-the-art weaponry, including precision-guided munitions and a variety of armed and surveillance drones. Our organization brings together combat, special forces, and logistics departments, forming a powerful fighting force consisting of thousands of dedicated fighters from various backgrounds, including Syria, Afghanistan, Lebanon, Pakistan, Sudan, Yemen, and beyond. In the midst of the ongoing conflict between the Palestinian Hamas movement and the IDF, there has been a significant surge in attacks against U.S. forces in Syria and neighboring Iraq. According to a spokesperson from U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, the group behind the recent strikes in Iraq, known as the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, is actually a term used to encompass all Iran-backed militias operating in the country. The spokesperson emphasized that the recent increase in the U.S. force presence in the region following Hamas' surprise attack on Israel was a clear demonstration of unwavering support for Israel's defense. It also aimed to send a strong message to Iran, Lebanese Hezbollah, and other regional proxies that any attempts to exploit the current situation and escalate conflict would not be tolerated. Despite ongoing attacks on U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria, the Islamic Resistance in Iraq announced on Thursday that they successfully targeted a significant location near the Dead Sea, situated between Israel, the West Bank, and Jordan. Newsweek has contacted the Iranian mission to the United Nations for comment. In July, when asked about the Imam Hossein Division and Iran's connection to the Axis of Resistance forces in Syria, the Iranian mission explained that in response to the emergence of ISIS and their control over areas in Iraq and Syria, Iran mobilized Shia volunteers from various nations to combat the terrorist group. The Iranian mission informed Newsweek that the volunteers successfully eradicated ISIS' self-proclaimed government. United in purpose, the volunteers from Syria joined forces to combat terrorism, standing firmly with the Syrian government. Amidst the ongoing IDF's operations in Gaza, tensions have risen along the Israel-Lebanon border. In the midst of ongoing cross-border tensions, Hezbollah made an announcement on Thursday regarding their successful targeting of 19 Israeli military sites. The IDF, on its end, stated that it carried out strikes on terror targets in southern Lebanon utilizing aircraft, tanks, and artillery. With sporadic clashes between the IDF and Hezbollah in recent years, tensions are now reaching levels not seen since the last war in 2006. The conflict occurred just 1 year after Israeli troops had pulled out of Gaza, following the assumption of power in the Palestinian territory amidst a turbulent dispute with rival Palestinian faction Fatah, which governs the Palestinian National Authority in the West Bank. Hamas has engaged in a series of intense conflicts and confrontations with Israel, with the current one being the most devastating. The latest updates coincided with the much-awaited speech scheduled to be given on Friday by Hezbollah's Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah. In recent years, there has been a growing alignment between Shiite Muslim Hezbollah and Sunni Muslim Hamas, despite their initial rift caused by Hezbollah's support for Assad during Syria's uprising in 2011. Iranian officials have made it clear that they are not taking a leading role in the October 7th attack. However, they have acknowledged offering substantial support to the Palestinian factions involved, going beyond mere words. Several high-ranking members of Hamas and the affiliated Islamic Jihad group have publicly expressed their endorsement from Iran, urging Arabs and Muslims worldwide to stand up against Israel. In light of this situation, the IDF spokesperson informed Newsweek that Hamas political chief Ismail Haniyeh would be traveling to Iran on Thursday. However, both parties have not yet officially confirmed this visit. Haniyeh previously had meetings with Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian, both in the Qatari capital of Doha. The most recent meeting took place just 2 days ago, while the previous one occurred on October 14th. Iran's Khamenei expresses his views in Hebrew about the Zionist entity. The Iranian supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, expresses his strong views towards Israel in a tweet written in Hebrew. "The Zionist entity is deceiving you," he declares on the social media platform X. The current situation has left the Zionist entity in a state of uncertainty and vulnerability. Without the support it has relied on, it faces the possibility of becoming immobilized in a matter of days. Understanding Iran's perspective on the Israel-Hamas conflict. Tehran's involvement in the conflict is more complex than it appears. According to Iranian Minister of Intelligence Esmail Khatib, the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel marked a significant moment in the region's history. From our perspective, the circumstances in Israel following the Al-Aqsa storm hold great significance. It marks a pivotal moment in history, one that sets the stage for what is to come. On October 30th, he proudly announced that Operation Al-Aqsa Storm had successfully thwarted a crucial plan of the United States in the region. Khatib's statement captures the sense of triumph and confidence exhibited by Iran's leaders following the Hamas attack, which they perceive as a significant win for their regional allies and interests. Iran has consistently backed Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, PIJ, providing them with financial aid, weaponry, and political backing. It has also established a strong network of allies throughout the Middle East, including Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen, as well as various armed groups in Iraq and Syria. Together, they form a powerful force known as the Axis of Resistance, united against Israel and its allies. Nevertheless, Iran's impact and sway in the region are more complex than what its words imply. The conflict in Gaza has shed light on the intricate and conflicting forces that influence Iran's actions and interests in the Middle East. These forces are a result of a combination of ideology and pragmatism. Iran's top leaders have promptly disavowed any direct participation in the conflict, while wholeheartedly endorsing and standing in solidarity with the Palestinian cause. Expressing unwavering support for Palestine and its struggles, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei emphasized the importance of recognizing the Palestinians' own agency and dismissing any misconceptions about external influences. "We commend and pay tribute to the masterminds behind this attack, as it reflects the true spirit of the Palestinians." Khamenei's statement exemplifies Iran's official position of disassociating itself from direct responsibility for the war, while asserting its indirect contribution of support and guidance to Hamas and PJ. Iran maintains a strategic approach in the Israel-Hamas conflict, skillfully keeping its level of involvement and intervention ambiguous. In a surprising turn of events, Iran's top officials have thus far given the green light for only restricted attacks by their allies in Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, and Yemen. These attacks serve to demonstrate Iran's strength and deterrence capabilities to Israel and the United States, while also preventing a direct confrontation that could jeopardize Iran's interests and security. Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi emphasizes the autonomy of Iran's axis of resistance allies in their decision-making, determination, and action. Consistency is key, both in the past and in the future. He strongly criticized the United States for supplying Israel with weapons and financial aid, and he urged other regional actors not to hold back. Iran will provide support to the resistance groups without making